Hello everyone, I'm 𝓕𝓻𝓸𝓶 and welcome to my world. Happy clonking new year from myself to you. Just want to touch base before we enter 2026 and have a recap of my world in 2025 and also what's been going on in 2025. There's a lot of ground that has been covered, and if we just go over it, it's going to jog your memory about just what the hell has happened in the last year. It's been quite a mad one, but really this is all about good cheer, positivity, looking forward to something and building something excellent. So I hope you're going to have a wicked time today, however you choose to spend it, whether it's on the what.
𝓕𝓻𝓸𝓶 says, "Sup Johnny, Happy New Year to you and your loved ones."
Likewise to you, my friend. Whether you're on the chaotic end of the New Year spectrum and you're going to go hell for leather and you're going to party and go out all night and do all kinds of naughty things, or you're going to have a quiet one with the family, or if maybe you're spending it alone, in which case I'm here with you, my friend. So that's the brief for today, and guess what? I've got my rocket fuel. I feel dirty, Matt. So I bought 3 cigars yesterday. Do you know how much it fucking cost? I just don't want to talk about this. In Japan, they're literally less than half. So they're already expensive, but you have to double it. But you know what? It's New Year's, cuzzy, so it's all good. So I've got my absolute favourite. You know what it is? The wide Churchill. Oh my God, I had one yesterday, a good friend of mine, and did the job. Smoking outside when it's cold, in the wind, when it's a little bit windy, it just destroys the experience. It just takes the smoke away from you. And this one, I've never had this before. I've been wanting this for the longest time. This is actually the brand that Winston Churchill smoked, and this is a 1-for-1, as best they can, of the actual cigar that Winston Churchill smoked of that brand. So it's the Romeo Julieta Churchill, named after him. This was the brand, this was the type, and they tried to make it as close as possible to how they made it back in the day. Actually, you can see it has a bit of mold growing on it, but it's white mold. This hasn't gone green yet, but on the label where the glue is, there's like it's a bit green there, but it is what it is. Dude, they literally, we can't get this in Japan. You can get these sometimes, you can't get this. Obviously, you're dealing with the commies, so distribution is going to be difficult. But the shop I went into and got this from, there's 2 quite near each other. I went to one that's close to my friend. The guy in there, asked him about it. He said, I don't know. I don't really know anything about cigars. How can you have all these amazing cigars? You don't know anything about them. It's like having a cheese shop and going like, I don't know about 𝓕𝓻𝓸𝓶, I don't know about Dolce Latte, just I don't know, it's on the shelf, mate. What the fuck? I feel this could be the all-time. I'm so excited about this. I'm going to smoke this tonight. There will be some kind of chemistry experiment taking place, I believe. Got these 2 tubes. So you don't get this in Japan for this one, so it's good to have this just for future. Comes a little bit of wood inside, so it doesn't get it keeps it a little bit moist. So yeah, man, I'm very excited about tonight. I'm all ready and prepared. Was preparing last night. I'll tell you all about it soon. So let's have a look over what I did this year and also what the hell happened in the news. I played quite a few video games in 2025, and this is something I really want to talk about because it's my hobby, it's my passion, innit, yeah? So we finished Dark Souls 3 this year. We started playing Dark Souls 3 right at the beginning of the year. We started playing it on the 14th of January. You always feel a bit intimidated.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, cuzzy. You always feel, oh, by the way, that reminds me, since you're such a big donator, Brad, if you want to donate for the New Year fund, the Shampers fund, mate, because if I get a fat donation, I will buy a bottle of Shampers. You can donate on streamlabs.com/Johnny Massacre. paypal.me/𝓕𝓻𝓸𝓭, and you can become a patron on patreon.com/JohnnyMassacre. You can also donate by clicking the currency symbol near the chat box, the text input, and I would very much appreciate that. So I always feel, I think people feel quite apprehensive and wary before they start a new FromSoft game, because it's going to be hell on earth, but as soon as you start playing, you just can't stop. And that was Dark Souls 3. I was a bit wary about it and got into it really quickly. It was way easier than I expected. It was probably the easiest of all 3 Dark Souls, I would say. The DLC was more, I think it was more difficult than Dark Souls 2. Dark Souls 2, the DLC bosses, was one of them the 𝓕𝓻𝓸𝓼𝓼𝓪𝓬𝓻𝓮? Yeah, no, I think it was. He wasn't that bad. Dark Souls 3, the enemies that stick out for being difficult is there's 2 demons you fight. Some people say it's not that bad, but they're just using guides, man. That, I remember, that was when really intense, messed up bosses began in Dark Souls. They'd always been kind of messed up, but that is these 2 big demons with a big, hairy, stagnant gooch just grinding in your face constantly, and you didn't know what the fuck was going on, but you use all your experience to kind of know how to dodge. That was really, really stressful. Also, 𝓕𝓻𝓸𝓱𝓷𝓷𝓂, this dragon, that was really hard. People say it's one of the hardest. You're not supposed to solo it. I did. That was pretty difficult, but we worked him out at the end. I remember you couldn't stay underneath him because his flames, even though he breathes fire forwards, it always goes underneath him. Somehow it ends up going backwards. That was hard. But yeah, so we did Dark Souls 3. Graphically, it was very solid and very smooth and slick. And I've got a pretty good memory of it. It's definitely not my favourite one, although I'm happy to have done it. And yeah, we ended up in the DLC a bit early with Sister 𝓕𝓻𝓸𝓱𝓷𝓵. There's a 3-phase boss, really famous. Definitely the hardest one in the game. It's not as hard as some of the other games' bosses, but it's definitely up there, especially when you don't really know what's going on in the beginning and you don't really know. You can assassinate, like backstab the enemy on phase 3, which really makes all the difference. But that, we went there early, the DLC. I didn't know it was DLC, but it's so difficult, obviously, because it's supposed to be after you finish the game and are leveled up. So that kind of stands out. So I was happy to finish all of the Dark Souls series. And with hindsight, I have to say the best one, like I love number 2. 2 is great. It's this whole stigma surrounding number 2 is absolute BS. The bosses are too easy on that game.
𝓕𝓻𝓸𝓱𝓷𝓵 says howdy.
Howdy, Milkster. Which Dark Souls is the one where very early on you fight some dark looking kind of hunched over knight in this dark room, and you can illuminate the room if you light something? I think that's Dark Souls 3, in which case I remember that was quite fun. But anyways, the bosses are too easy in the second one, but the second one is so vast, there's so much content, and it's so cryptic, and it's just an insanity. Really like that. But you'd have to say...
𝓕𝓸𝓱𝓷𝓵 says, Ni howdy.
You'd have to say the first one is the best one. It's just a magical game. Everyone knows it's special, everyone loves it, and it's for good reason. It's difficult to really pin down what makes From Software so great beyond the kind of iframes, dodging mechanic, which they pioneered in modern gaming, and now every game copies. But whatever it is that makes it great, I feel it's a Dark Souls 1.
That's the sinner from DS2. Dark room but can be lit with torches before entering.
Okay, well Dark Souls 2 is great then. I mean, yeah, but so I'd say Dark Souls 1 is the best. Ornstein and Smaug as a boss is fucking majestic shit. And it's fucking hard. There's just so much hard. I'm at the level with the ghosts and stuff. You can't even hit them. I can't remember how we worked out how to hit them. And then you run in and you have to run up that ladder to get to the merchant or something. I mean, yeah, it was hard. And Blight Town, not as hard as people say, but it's still very memorable and just really abusively hard. The boss of that area, 𝓕𝓻𝓸𝓱𝓷𝓵, I remember getting the souls from it and going all the way up and trying to escape. And just because it's so dark and dingy, I missed the ladder. I didn't know where I was going. Ended up in that weird bit with all these little goblins shooting toxic arrows, and just please don't let it happen, and losing the souls. That was horrible. The DLC of that is fantastic, and that's the first time they established their now tried and tested pattern of release the main game, and then DLC is just going to be the hardest shit ever, the hardest bosses. Elden Ring had some fucking hard bosses though, like Millennium and stuff. But really, they always do that pattern now. Just release DLC, put the hardest bosses in that. The hardest bosses in Dark Souls were in the DLC. Knight Artorias is stuff of legend. It's really difficult. I felt a bit dirty because I actually, it was so difficult. I think someone told me on the stream, when he's powering up, just relentlessly attack him. I was backing off, and that made it doable. So stop giving me advice on streams, because I want to suffer in silence, and it's more satisfying when you overcome it yourself and use your brain power. But that boss is amazing. Aesthetically, it just looks so fucking cool. It's not unchained creativity where you just do whatever you want and it's some big fucking, you know, like Cthulhu monster with tentacles and teeth. It's just a dude, a knight. So there's a restraint in the execution of that character, but he's got like flair. Like, how do you make a knight interesting? FromSoft can do it. It's just the armor is wicked. He's got ornate stuff on the armor. Like all of their cool bosses, it's kind of decayed and he's injured and there's something wrong with him, and he's got this kind of regal purple blue sash or something and a plume on his helmet, and it's just that is so good. The mechanics of that boss, everyone loves it. Also Black Dragon Calamite, people say that's even harder. That was a very hard, you know, piss take boss in Dark Souls. And what the other one's the fucking hardest one. What is the other one? Is there another one? Is there another one in the DLC? I don't know. Maybe that's it. There's the Threshold Guardian, or what is it? Threshold Guardian? It's a big lion with a scorpion tail. That was really difficult. I remember thinking, how am I supposed to do this? And then when you finish the game and go back, or just when you go back after killing it, there's two of them. That was maybe the hardest one, but we did do that. So yeah, Dark Souls 1, I would say, is probably the best. And yeah, we've been playing this for years now, you know. This really reinvigorated my faith in gaming. Was From Software. It started with Elden Ring. It's life changing. You don't want to play anything else now, because we want that challenge. You need that challenge, and the combat mechanics are so much fun. Elden Ring, we did Sekiro, we did Demon Souls, we did Dark Souls 1, 2 and 3, and then later to end the year, didn't actually realize this until now, we bookended it with From Software. We ended it with Bloodborne. We're actually still playing it, and the Chalice Dungeons, which is extra content that Sony just basically shoehorned in there, FromSoft shoehorned in there at the behest of Sony. It's actually quite good. I quite enjoy it, and we're still doing that. So I'm looking forward to tying that up when I get back to Japan, which won't take long. So we did a lot of FromSoft kind of Souls-like gaming this year, and it wasn't just FromSoft Souls type Souls-likes. It was also a Souls-like by a Chinese developer called 𝓕𝓻𝓸𝓶. I mean, it's not FromSoft, but it scratches an itch, you know. If you like those kind of games, it's just a rip-off of
𝓕𝓸𝓸𝓬 says, all these evil difficult bosses, yet 𝓕𝓻𝓸𝓸𝓬 remains undefeated.
And that's the thing. So we did the 12 games of Christmas recently, and the NES game, NES Home Alone, it's as hard as those Souls-like games, man. Oh my freaking lord. So there you go. And 𝓕𝓻𝓸𝓸𝓬 by the Chinese developer, I actually got quite a lot out of it. I liked it. There's a lot with the combat. There's too much. Skill trees, which just expand across multiple screens. But I did enjoy playing that. And we basically killed all the bosses, which is what I'm trying to do, is just test my skills against all these hard like enemies. We also did Silent Hill and Silent Hill 2. Silent Hill 2 is a really good memory. The music's amazing in that game, and this will piss people off, but it's a shitty game. The combat is just awful. But in terms of gameplay, it's poor. The maneuverability of the character is a joke. There's so much jank, but you know, I do like a bit of jank for all the wrong reasons. But it's a fucking mood. It's a vibe. It's the Japanese developers, very creative. Twin Peaks influence, supernatural elements, kind of mental health themes, and Japanese horror, which kind of gets its energy, if you will, from environments very often, like an abandoned hospital, abandoned, it's not a school in this game, but you know what I mean. It's the Japanese kind of interior architecture is often the muse for a lot of horror developers. I'm like, we'll get there. Yeah, see, you're chipping in. This is why this channel is fucking awesome, because it's as much about you as it is me. Brad W reminding me of a game we're going to talk about in a minute. Thank you so much. This is one of the highlights of the year, if not the highlight. And yeah, Silent Hill 2, it's a mood.
𝓕𝓻𝓸𝓶 says slubs ain't tucked.
Slubs, tuck it in, bro. How you doing, Slubs? Happy New Year, Slubs. So Silent Hill 2, I don't know, it's one of those games that kind of stays with you for some reason. Really abstract, really fucking weird. And the female character in it is such an unkay.
Slub69 says I've been ill for 4 days.
You did say you love Christmas, Slubsy Wubsy. Slubs, mate, the Arsenal yesterday. Oh my lord, 4-1. We smashed the 𝓕𝓻𝓸𝓶 team. It could be our year, please God. Silent Hill 2 was great.
𝓕𝓻𝓸𝓶 says no, but not ill now.
Honestly, so this actually, I'll tell you what changed my life in Silent Hill and Silent Hill 2 is the puzzles. So I'm actually into this shit now. That's got me into puzzle solving. This is a pastime and a hobby that some people are just properly into. I have very poor attention span and I have concentration issues. So puzzles for me, from the just looking at a puzzle, knowing that there's a puzzle to be solved, if I can't solve it within 10 seconds, I'm out. I'm already thinking about too many things. It bugs me. I just want to move on to something else. But actually, you know, because I'm obsessed with just finishing games no matter what, regardless of how difficult or janky or obscure they are, it forced me to work through the puzzles, and I'm into that shit. I just love the idea that somebody's done something and there was many, many layers and levels and steps to doing that thing, but you only see the end product, and you have to try to work out and uncover what the thought process is behind this thing. And humans just do that by instinct. It's just something that we do. It's a very primal thing. I'm trying to work out why is it like this and who did it. And I love the way when you start piecing it together, it kind of snowballs and you finally work out what the puzzle maker was thinking. I just love that buzz. And man, Silent Hill 1 and 2, my favorite puzzles in all of gaming. Silent Hill 1 was a piano puzzle. Smash that.
Says, if you love puzzles, then I can't recommend the Portal games enough. Best puzzle games I've ever played personally.
Really? The thing is, it doesn't have enough of a theme, Portal, for me. Like, I like the way the puzzles are all dressed up in this weird supernatural Japanese kind of narrative. I don't like most Japanese narratives, but in games, I'm all right with it. Sometimes, you know what I'm saying. But yeah, so I realized I love puzzles, and I want to play more puzzle games in 2026. There's got to be some absolute, I mean, I'm talking proper head scratchers, cuzzy. So that was fucking awesome. Those were 2 retro games we did. And other games, I'm just scrolling through now to see what we played. I'll let you know. Dark Souls 3 took up a lot, a hell of a lot. We started playing it on January the 11th. I think we put it down for a little bit, and we ended up finishing that way later. I don't know, February the 9th, so it took a month basically. Other games we played in 2025, let's see what we got. This was a banger though. Resident Evil 0. Okay, so people were going on at me to play this, and I'm glad I did, because once you've enjoyed the originals and you hunger for more, you're very limited in choices.
𝓕𝓻𝓸𝓶 says it's been 1 year of asking for 𝓕𝓻𝓸𝓼𝓼𝓪𝓬𝓻𝓮.
You're very limited for the tank control, the old Resi experience, which makes it what it is in my opinion, in large part. And so Resident Evil 0, yeah, tank controls, it's just the old gameplay, it's all of that shit. That was super fun. It was super shitty in some ways. Man, the mechanic of, you got 2 characters who split up. Oh, no. Man, it wasn't just super shitty. It was worse than super shitty. It was fucking awful. Absolutely terrible. you had a limited space in your, oh fuck, it's all coming back, the trauma of this game. So there's a huge part of this game is a meta game, totally non-related to the main game, which is just imposed by changing some of the rules, the developers changing the rules and mechanics, simply just to make it unnecessarily like frustrating. You got a limited amount of inventory slots, so the only way to counter that is to put loads of shit on the floor, and so you end up, you have to go, you go to one room and you might get tagged by a few enemies. It's super annoying, and health is at premium. Pick up a bunch of stuff, take it to a safe room, which is a hub that bleeds into all the other rooms that you need to go to, drop it on the floor, go back to the fucking room, past the enemies, might get tagged. So frustrating. If you get tagged, have to do it all again. Pick up the items, go back, dump it on the floor. And then there's other parts where you have to put the items in these little, what do you call them, like, it's not an elevator, but you know, it's not for people but for items to transport them between floors. They do that in hotels and shit, right? In some restaurants, you need to put items in there and send it. Oh god, that was awful, but it still was kind of great. And there's a monster in that. There's not a lot of super scary monsters, but right from the beginning you meet the worst monster. I think, well, I don't know what it's called, but we nicknamed it the 𝓕𝓻𝓸𝓸𝓬𝓻. And it's just this big kind of, it's a zombie, and it's, I don't know, it's a little bit amorphous, and it's made up of all these smaller slimy parts and shit. When you come across it, the music will change and it will absolutely molest you. And that was just the best part of the game. The funnest part was running away from the 𝓕𝓻𝓸𝓸𝓬𝓻. And the only, this is getting really fucking.
𝓕𝓸𝓱 says, dumb waiter.
And I think it's because there's a viewer of the channel called the Family OG, but the text to speech which you're hearing now mispronounced his name as 𝓕𝓻𝓸𝓸𝓬𝓻. And because I'm half German and I find German vocabulary like Pfeffer, which means pepper, quite amusing, we just called this fucking monster the 𝓕𝓻𝓸𝓸𝓬𝓻. So on this random in the moment, like, coincidence of weird enemy, my German past, and like mispronounced text-to-speech name just created this whole universe in the game. And that's a sign of a good game. It's quite simply the characters are inspiring and interesting, right? And then you can build your own like little fantasy around it. So, and you have to do that, I think, with the older games because they're lacking in some way. The new games are totally immersive, but the older the game is, it's almost like kids outside playing with things and like using their imagination to make it better than what it is. I feel like the older games, sometimes you need a bit of that to kind of make it, to get through it. But that was fun. I don't even really remember the characters, which tells you a lot about the game. I remember the last boss was actually kind of hard and somebody ruined it. Like, it was Ajay. He said, make sure you stock up on ammo. I think it was him who said that. And that really, that people do this all the time. Like, if you don't know anything about what's coming and how to deal with the enemy, it's you feel so much more satisfaction and sense of achievement when you overcome it. But when someone goes stock up on the pistol ammo, I think, why would you need a pistol for the last boss? As soon as someone said that, okay, you just shoot it to stall it and you're not supposed to kill it. So that like really took away from the end. People do this all the time, ruin stuff. Why do people do it? I never do this. I never ever say it. Even if, oh, something's going to happen here. Why do people do that? My best friend's wife, she basically told me to watch 𝓕𝓻𝓸𝓶, and I'm really thankful for that because that was a life-changing thing. That movie's like blown me away. It's not perfect. It's a little bit oversimplified. It's like a ridiculously oversimplified version of the hero's journey, but it's just fucking amazing. I love that film so fucking much. But when we were watching it, just as Simba's dad's about to die, she went, oh man, this bit is so traumatic. It's just, what? My best friend said, look, our friend is watching it, don't spoil it. She said, everyone knows it, but anyways, people always do that. Even if it's a little hint, it just totally destroys the satisfaction. We were playing Snatch the other day. We got a few new viewers. One of them actually really liked. He's really smart and seems to have quite a lot of knowledge. What did he say though? He said something like, I can't remember, but it just ruined this. It was a puzzle. He just said the clue. Yeah. So people do this a lot, but it's a part of the stream. So I accept, and I kind of, I don't know why people do it. I don't know what the psychological reason is, the root reason, but I feel the compulsion to do it too. I've watched people's streams and I know what's coming, and I feel like I want to tell them. So I get it. I'm not going to hate you for it, but it's fucking annoying as a streamer. If you haven't done it, you might not understand. I mean, you can empathize, I'm sure, but unless you've experienced someone ruining it for you, but you have, right, when you watch movies, so you know what I'm saying. Anyways, the end of Resident Evil 0, probably one of the hardest Resi bosses. Again, it's just like a big blob. Can't remember the characters at all, to be honest. No, one of them was the one from Resident Evil 1, right? Not really Beskar, but kind of a babe. Where's the green outfit, the medic? The guy, I just can't remember who it is. We did Resident Evil 0 and it was good fun. It was good fun. It was hard. Did it hard mode.
Not
Rock
gonna
hard.
hate you for it. Where did Ajay go?
Okay, so Ajay. So one of the biggest events, if you will, of this year in Johnny Massacre's world, my world, is finding Ajay. We lost Ajay. We lost a long time regular viewer. But this happens in streaming. People come and go. Like, people have their own things going on. It's not a cult. It's like you can leave.
𝓕𝓻𝓸𝓶 says, wow, how is Rebecca that forgettable?
She doesn't have the big boob of Milkster. Come on now. So people come and go, but Ajay's like a long time viewer. So Ajay is his parents are from Ghana, and he looks it, but he's Swedish because he was born in Sweden, right? So in Europe, they believe that if you're born there, you are that. In Japan, where I live, we don't have that, bro. Said it many times. If I bang an English bird and she gets a bun in the oven and it pops out in the land of the rising sun, that motherfucker ain't English to the Japanese. But anyways, however you want to look at it, but all of this he was really great for the channel because he was so black. He was so black, and we talk about politics a lot and race politics and stuff like that. And he didn't fit the stereotype that the left want you to believe, that like black people are this hive mind and they all think the same way, and that they're all in this crusade against like racism and they're all victims and stuff like that.
Photo in his 𝓕𝓻𝓸𝓶.
Ajay he's not like that at all. And considering this channel gets very political quite often, he was such a great foil to that, you know, because he'd be the black guy who would mock all the black victimhood, right? And like everything's racist, and he would say things. It would make me laugh. It's really funny because it was kind of taboo subject. So he'd say things like, you know, you're oppressing me because I don't know, anything, right? Like if he tells me a hint and I berate him, he's like, oh no, you're oppressing me, you're racist because you're criticizing the hint. So I really, really enjoyed that. And you know, he just came across as like quite autistic because he's obsessed with certain things and knows so much about it. And was just couldn't take social cues, like even in this very limited space where it's just text, you don't see someone's reactions and stuff like from the viewer side. He couldn't like really take cues, so he's obsessed with PCs and he'd always talk about PCs, but I clearly just don't care about PCs, but he'd go on and on and on. But I was kind of endearing because I like passionate people. I like it. I like that, right? As opposed to someone who's just nothing, they're not into stuff. So I liked it. And I just found it kind of endearing. So you just go on and on about PCs and stuff. You know, he was like really, I felt like the channel was quite good for him.
𝓕𝓻𝓸𝓵 says, he was so innocent. Dude did beat art.
Yeah, and so that was the thing. He just came across as like, just kind of funny. And sometimes he'd make very insightful comments. So he did some comments on someone told me, who's a viewer of the channel, what an amazing community we have here. Just all this input. We'll get there later, but you basically kept me alive. Without you, I wouldn't be dead. But you know, I'll never go that far. But you know, honestly, but you kept me alive. Like this whole community, like fuck, dude. I had no social contact for a whole year in Japan. And thank you so much, everyone. Happy New Year. Really appreciate you. But Ajay is just, yeah, he just came across as kind of like very pure and very sweet. And I think everyone felt that, right? I think everyone kind of knew that. And And I think it was quite good for him because it gave him like a voice and gave him a platform. You should donate, by the way, for that, because like I fucking built that shit up, and well, it is free. I was gonna say that shit ain't free, but it is free. And then fuck it, like, everyone's fine. I'm happy for everyone to participate. It would be nice if like people who always come here, especially who have their own things going on, do some moderator things to try to give back a little bit. But also I feel like I have to give back to you, because without you there's nothing here. But anyways, Ajay was here a lot, and I felt it was kind of good for him because he could connect with people and show like his art to people and stuff like that. And I felt he enjoyed it and enjoyed trying to build a sense of community. Like he could identify there's regular viewers and stuff and try to compound that and solidify that and drop people by name and say this person's in the house, that person's in the house. He's just a character. It's really memorable. There's no one kind of like this guy, but we lost him during the Silent Hill 2 stream. And this is the thing, is like going back to autism. I feel like if you criticize an autist habit, that is game over, bro. Like that's the whole fucking thing. I have really extreme intense interest as well, and when people criticize that, it just feels like it's part of your identity when it isn't, I don't think. But you relate to it so fucking much. When someone criticizes it, it feels instinctively like you are being criticized. So he was proper into this game and he was talking all about it and stuff. And we got to one point and we lost him. He disappeared from the channel because I called him autistic. But we would joke back and forth. Like he would say, oh, you've got Asperger's and stuff. And it's very milk toast, bro. Like if you watch his channel, you know, I'm not, when it just comes to people and keeping the harmony, I've got nothing to prove to people. I don't have to prove myself to you. I don't have to be better than you. That's not my mission. My mission,
family Vin Diesel.
My mission is there is a massive cynical selfish there's this, no, I don't even want to give it a negative spin. I have a desire to be successful as an entertainer, as a performer, and that comes before everything else. But there's also a desire to be with people and just interact with people and just have friendship. And even though it's like it's not friendship because we don't know each other, that's really important to me. I'm losing my train of thought here, but Ajay, in the end, he's so obsessed with the game, and I felt like, yeah, what was it? He said something. What was it again? He said something I disagreed with. What actually was it that triggered him leaving the channel? I think it was like spoiling a puzzle, right? And it was something like he took literally. And again, this is the thing with autists. They take things literally, right? They can't detect sarcasm and stuff. Everything's very literal. And I know when I meet someone who's genuinely autistic, you say something sarcastic, Brits are quite sarcastic, and they go, huh? Really? Is it like that? No, it's not like that. That's not what I mean. They take things literally, can't take social cues. And something I said he took super literally, and no one would take that literally. And I said, I called him out. I just mentioned it. I said, well, they take it really literally, but it's actually not. I don't know, just something like that. And then I basically called him autistic, and he said no. And then I basically said, yeah, you are. And he disappeared. And it hasn't come back. He was regular on the channel, part of the Massacre mates, the community, and he was gone. And someone said at the time, he said he was going on holiday and extended vacation. So we held out hope that he was going to come back. And can you believe it? I actually went back on some old stream, and they're like fucking 9 hours long. I went right into the part where he said he was going on vacation, so I could get the closure, well, as much closure as I could on the situation without his input and coming back. And I found the point somehow, it's like fate, where he said, I'm going away. he said he'd only gone away for 3 weeks. So months later, he hadn't returned. He's still active on Instagram, I believe, but he's just disappeared. So that was a major thing. And I don't know, some people, when they remain in the conversation and in your headspace beyond the previous relationship, or just when someone is in your headspace constantly, I find that's often the result of a narcissist, because they want to dominate you and control you and have some kind of power over you. But with Ajay, even though he's in the conversation, I don't feel it's like that at all. I don't feel he's a narcissist. I don't feel he wanted to control anything. I just feel he's really probably very passionate about something. He is extremely passionate about something. It's really important to him, these video games. And I think maybe there might have been an element of truth in me saying that. And even if there was, you could certainly see why someone would take that the wrong way, because mental illness is a very, very serious thing and a personal thing, and it's not the kind of thing you discuss publicly. But if he felt that way, that was not my intention, because I would never like put someone on the spot, especially publicly. That's a kind of, doctor-patient privilege, not a doctor, but you know what I'm saying. That's not the kind of thing you air in public. And the only time I would do that is if I was actually trying to attack someone and hurt someone because, or just defend myself if someone's kind of doing the same to me. So that wasn't my intention at all. And I don't know, I shouldn't really say this in case he hears it, but being honest is probably the best thing, right? Because if God blesses us and brings Ajay back to the channel, just laying it out how it is, then if we can kind of connect and see where we kind of align and where some of us were right and where we were wrong, it's just going to help fixing things overall. But yeah, I feel that I don't know. I just think to react like that, that to me just strikes like someone a bit on the spectrum. That's all. That's how I honestly felt. And we ribbed each other a lot on the channel, so I felt like it was kind of cool to do that. But what I want to say is I feel that it's probably more of a reflection on him than it is me. And maybe there's an element of truth, which is why it potentially upset him.
Bro, PPL, come and go in live. That's it.
Well, that's a different way to look at it. And yeah, it's true. They do. And I notice this, especially with all my close friends from childhood. They just, especially when they hook up with people, they've got other things going on and it happens, you're right. But I don't know, I'm very idealistic and maybe a little bit obsessive. But I never really felt that in my heart, that people, I'm pretty fucking loyal. I don't fucking know. But yeah, anyway, Slubs, too long didn't read, people do. And Ajay was a very kind of like big part of the channel, but he disappeared. But I hope he comes back and I hope he watches this. And if you're watching it, Ajay, well, I love you, man. It's all good. And I hope you come back. I was trying to think exactly what the fuck it was though that triggered it. I remember what it fucking was, right? So what it was he didn't tell me the answer to a puzzle, but he said something about the story. And that's a huge part of the game, is you're trying to work out what the fuck's going on. It basically is a puzzle, the story. And it bleeds into the puzzles and everything, right? It's an intrinsic part of the game. And he said something about what happens to one of the characters. I can't remember exactly what it was, but you kind of knew what was going to happen to one of the characters. And I had this on the screen. Don't give me hints, but it was big. And then he was saying, I'm not giving you a hint, I'm just telling you what the story is. And it's like, bro, in what universe does it say in huge letters across the screen, don't give me hints? And anyone thinks like, but that doesn't mean the story. Like, this is what the story is. It's an interactive movie. So then it became this thing. It's like, well, you took it so literally. Just because it doesn't say don't like tell me what the
69 says a lot of my old friends are dead. That shit, cause some of them we parted badly before they passed.
That's fucking wise thing to think about. It's like how much time you have left. This is a recurring theme at the moment. That I think about, a recurring thing. Nice to put that out there, Slubs. I feel what you're saying. So he was saying it doesn't say don't tell me the
WR says,
story.
write down what Slub said for when you go to the children's hospital.
It doesn't say don't tell me the story on the screen. It says don't give me hints. So I said to Ajay, what? So, and he actually said you should write that. So already there's not much real estate. It says don't give me hints. Okay, and then I'm gonna write, and also please don't tell me the story. Come on, man. And then I said, man, that's like taking it really, really literally. There's no way like anyone would think that. And then I said, like, that's autistic shit. And then he said, he actually pushed back and was like, I'm not autistic. And then I think he said, maybe you're autistic. And I just honestly said my opinion, because we discussed this on the channel. We make a joke. It's like ADD autistic. And I kind of want to be autistic because Elon Musk is fucking cool and he's autistic. And it means I'm special. And it also gives you a way to absolve yourself of any individual responsibility. Because I did it, because I had this thing, right? All these things. And I actually said to him, I'm not autistic because I'm so good with social cues. I know what people, I don't know what people are literally thinking, but I think more than the majority of people, I'm quite in tune with how people are feeling and thinking. I know that's the case. I know how to read a situation socially.
Says, I remember saying you need a bigger banner. Was quite funny actually.
Well, he said that, yeah. So I definitely know, and it could be anyway. It could be like yesterday in the pub. This guy next to me. This is another fucking story. London's a fucking mad place. It doesn't matter what kind of culture you're from, or like who you are, or ethnicity, and all this kind of shit, or social status, and like family, or like whatever. I know I can get closer. I can get as close as possible to kind of feel what's going on and read the room. I just know it. And autists can't do that. So I said no, and that was it. And then that was it. So there you go. But so that happened in 2025. It was a bit of a saga, but who knows? Maybe he's going to return one day, and that would be quite fucking epic. Can you imagine that? This is part of the law, right? We need to make t-shirts about this. So that happened in 2025. What else happened? Okay, yeah. So went on a hardcore diet starting April the 1st, and it basically lasted until July the 1st. Fucking hell on earth, dude. Lost 12 kilograms and still didn't quite get the body I wanted. Maybe it's the age I'm at, 42, and the metabolism a little bit. I felt like it would have looked better 5 years ago. That was insane. That was one of the hardest things I ever did. So much training. And it was doing all conflicting things. Dieting, not having enough calories. At the same time, smashing heavy bench press. Diametrically opposed, those two things. And also keto, opposed to doing weights and stuff like that. So it was just trying to squish in maximum weight loss and fat loss. Fucking hell on earth. Because no carbs, I started to look for other ways to get dopamine hits. That's why I got into coffee, was from dieting. That made me realize that I'm so addicted to dopamine.
𝓕𝓸𝓱𝓷𝓷𝓂 says, spoiler alert, Arsenal will always disappoint you.
Oh no. Probably. How do you know? So yeah, and that's when I kind of really started to think about my concentration issues, because people who have concentration issues, according to Huberman, and it makes sense what he's saying, they have a dopamine regulation problem, or their dopamine is regulated differently, and so unless they have dopamine, they can't concentrate on things, and it's just not interesting to them. It's the story of my life, pretty much. And so that was kind of interesting to realize. So I started smoking cigars during heavy training and dieting, to get that dopamine hit and focus a bit and kind of get on it, and caffeine. So that was interesting, learning about myself in that respect. Because the training was so hard, I'd be like on the verge of fainting and dying. So I'd overeat some days and just couldn't stop eating. Then, in order to make up the calorie deficit, which I had to hit on a weekly target, I'd have to train more to hit that. So there were some times I was doing a 2-hour run, like on successive days. And then one time I did 2-hour run, the next day a 2-hour run, and then 2 days later. You shouldn't do that. You're guaranteed to injure yourself. And I basically did right at the end. I wanted to finish off on a 3-hour run, and I had to wipe out the calories. And I failed it and injured myself, borderline. Somehow I had a physio, and he got into the injured part, and it just felt horrific. It's kind of a good memory though, in spite of all that. It just feels like an adventure. And I finally finished the 3-hour run, like a week after July the 1st, which was the target. I even took a little fake ring because I made this narrative around it, like I'm going to do a 3-hour run, 90 minutes into Mordor, throw the ring into Mount Doom. I had this shit little ring, biodegradable of course, threw it into this river and then managed to get back without being injured. Fucking epic. ChatGPT took me through the whole thing, and I actually feel, as you know, AI hallucinates. It actually tried to kill me at one point. I was feeling super faint, and my lips went numb, and my jaw went numb, and I was kind of swaying, and I thought I was going to pass out. My gym owner, picture of him with Dana White squaring up to someone. He was a professional UFC fighter. He was saying to me, mate, be careful with cutting. You can do yourself permanent damage. I don't know how close I got to it. It wasn't a million miles away. It was hell on earth. There's a stream you can find where I'm smoking a cigar, just trying to do anything to suppress the hunger and the feeling. I looked so gaunt and fucked up. Awful. And that was something. And at that point, ChatGPT said to me, going like completely the opposite way from previous advice, it said, okay, for you to hit the calorie target because you've been overeating, the next 2 weeks, and this is when I'm about to die and my jaw's going numb, and I'm eating every day, albeit like at a deficit, like 1,800 calories, 2,000. It said, next 2 weeks, you only eat twice a week. On one day, like 400 calories, and the other day, 1,800. Do that for 2 weeks. I said, I'm actually going to die if I do this. It's physically impossible. And it said, no, it's going to be fine. Mad. So what I learned is, don't try to do this mad diet for a 6-pack in 3 months. It's not going to fucking happen, dude. Do it from January. Do it from January the 1st. That's tomorrow. I've already been pretty fucking good this vacation. Way better than last year, which preceded that mad dieting. Way better. I had sweets on Christmas Day. And I had guess what? An apple crumble. Apple and blackberry crumble. Maybe a week later with one of my best mates who I never see. And I didn't really feel like a...
𝓕𝓻𝓸𝓵 says I fuck off Chad.
Yeah, right? So anyways, this year it's been way more sensible. And so I feel... I think if the addict comes back, you say, I don't need it. I don't need it anymore. But it is in the back of my mind. Like you have I gave up, didn't eat any sweets, any puddings, any sugar, any bread at all from April to December 25th. As soon as you have one bit, you can go back. I've done it before. It can end up spiraling for years. So I got to be careful. But I think there will be one more day of like carbs. I'm going to have a beef Wellington, which I've never had before. I want to do that with my mum. And the addict is saying on the last day in England, just fucking smash the sweets. But do you know what? I don't think I will, because that's the addict spiral. So I don't think I will do that. I think the way I'm going to do it is, if I do eat sweets again, it will be Christmas Day and my birthday. So in March, maybe I can do it then. But anyways, the point is, this time I'm going to start as soon as I get back from England. It kind of makes sense, right? Makes sense. Different place. Time to get in the mode, like back in the place where I reside. Starting January, this time I've got double the amount of time for the diet. Do it properly. Already, I think I'm 84 kilograms. Last time I was 92 in April. So it's like it's night and day, cuzzy. So this time I'm gonna fucking get my fitness target, get that insane 6-pack by July the 1st, summer season in Japan. So that happened last year. The fitness was fucking mental, and I'm looking forward to more of that. And when you look at Silent Hill 2, that's deep in the game of the fitness cut. A proper, like, just, I don't know, chiseled, bruv. Have a look at it. Silent Hill 2 stream. Bananas. I did a YouTube short of solving a puzzle in Silent Hill 2, which is one of my favorite shorts. I'm going to take a little toilet break now. I'll be right back. I'm going to show you that clip, and we'll keep on talking about 2025.
Sweets your last day, nor dude, that would be a terrible flight. You'd feel awful, lol. 𝓕𝓻𝓸𝓵 says, vagrant dog.
I'll be right back, yeah. blood of mercy.
𝓕𝓻𝓸𝓱𝓷𝓷𝓪𝓬𝓻𝓮 says, hey y'all.
So Arthur.
𝓕𝓻𝓸𝓱𝓷𝓷𝓪𝓬𝓻𝓮 says, where is he?
Where is he? So, yeah, I should show you the chiseledness. I mean, there's another the video where I'm so gaunt and just sick. It's not pretty viewing, but easily found, to be honest. So this is the silent two, and this is why I don't want people to spoil puzzles. If you do it a little bit, it just totally destroys it. So. This is Silent Hill 2 video and good puzzle solving as well. Let's have a look here. This.
Oh shit! So maybe it's like 1, 3, 2, 8. Oh, maybe it's like drawing a line.
That was
oh
amazing.
Shit! So maybe it's like 1, 3, 2, 8.
But you can see I'm quite chiseled there, and oh, there I am. Fucking hell. Yeah, the video with the cigar is pretty easy to find. Where I'm super gaunt. Yeah, this is a little bit okay. We're getting really close. It was brutal, dude. Before this. But yeah, Silent Hill 2, really thin at that point. July the 4th hangout. Pretty fucking gaunt all through this. Yeah, it's around here. It's around here. Maybe it's another little bit more back. Or not. Maybe I won't be able to find it, but let's have a little peek.
𝓕𝓻𝓸𝓱𝓷𝓷𝓪𝓬𝓻𝓮 says, Happy New Year. 𝓕𝓻𝓸𝓱𝓷𝓷𝓪𝓬𝓻𝓮 says we can't lol. 𝓕𝓻𝓸𝓱𝓷𝓷𝓪𝓬𝓻 says howdy Vic.
Happy New Year, Victoria. The menace. How you doing? Do you know what it could be? I don't think it is this though, but no, it's not. But I do look pretty thin there. I really want to know what this. I want to see the gauntness because it was messed up. Be interesting to see. Okay, let's see. Oh, do you know what? I think it's this one. I think it is this, inside the shadow realm. I think it's this.
Hello, everyone.
It is this one. Oh my god, dude. Look how, I just look ill. It's a kind of...
𝓕𝓻𝓸𝓱𝓷𝓷𝓪𝓬𝓻 says, hey Vic.
So this is where my lips were going numb because of the dieting and training. And then I tried to smoke a cigar and it made it 1,000 times worse. My central nervous system was just absolutely... It was destroyed from this. Yeah, look, it just looks like a guy trying to survive, bro. What the fuck? Look at that. That looks awful, dude. That looks fucking... Look at that. Just looks like, please fucking help me. Gollum from the prison. Man, I don't want to go back to that. I don't want to have to do that this year, and I'm not going to do that. It's horrible. Yeah, no, I'm really feeling it there. The cigar's making it worse. Central nervous system. Look, I'm just feeling it. Central nervous system is telling me, like, you need to fucking sort it out.
Says, I'm doing exhausted lol and today is the day I take everything down.
I can tell there from the body language as well. It's just like, just trying to fucking meditate to survive. That is that's just way too much, dude.
𝓕𝓻𝓸𝓱𝓷𝓷𝓪𝓬𝓻 says, hey Brad.
Yeah, and just suffering. It didn't. The gaming didn't work. Look, man, I'm absolutely gone. That ain't happening, dude. That is not happening. But yeah, Silent Hill 2. That was deep in the cut. We were cutting at that point, for sure. Yeah, there's a few other games here though that we got to talk about, Kazi. We got to talk about it.
𝓕𝓻𝓸𝓵 says, back again. 𝓕𝓸𝓱𝓷𝓷𝓪𝓬𝓻𝓮
Nice.
says, why are we looking at a hand? 𝓕𝓸𝓱𝓷𝓷𝓪𝓬𝓻𝓮 says, solid strategy.
Oh, you can't even fucking see it, mate. This hurts my soul. Everything I just showed you didn't work. Okay. Mate, for fuck's sake. Okay. I knew something was off. Okay, there we fucking go. Okay.
𝓕𝓻𝓸𝓱𝓷𝓷𝓪𝓬𝓻 says, where are you right now, Johnny? Still in London?
Yeah, I'm in London, bro.
Guessing.
I'm in London. So this is the stream where I was super gaunt. Look how bad it is.
What's up, everyone?
I know it's not this one.
This is Massacre Mates.
No. Where is it? Where is it? This one? This would be it. No, this is it. I think. It has to be. No, it's not number 2. This one, number 1. Okay, this is where the dieting went too far. You can see. It looks bad, dude. I'm really, really suffering at this point. Look, I just look like a golem, man. Like eyes bulging.
Quite simply.
Trying to hold it together.
My name. I remember.
Oh, it just looks bad. Really suffering. The cigar's making it so much worse because my central nervous system it's just got no, it's got nothing. It's just overclocked. Training, extreme dieting, keto, stimulants, coffee, and then a cigar, just trying to suppress the hunger. Just absolutely, this was bad. I'm just trying to hold it.
Night owl.
Trying to hold it together.
𝓕𝓻𝓸𝓱𝓷𝓷𝓪𝓬𝓻 says, when was this over the summer?
Yeah, this was right at the end of the diet.
Right, more than now, or like.
Yeah, I'm in pain, bro. Like it's just pain. I can't get through it.
A calorific.
It was bad. It was bad. I'm not going back there. Ugh. Yeah. So.
𝓕𝓻𝓸𝓱𝓷𝓷𝓪𝓬𝓻 says, damn, it's almost as if there were people telling you that you were killing yourself, 𝓕𝓻𝓸𝓱𝓷𝓷𝓪𝓬𝓻.
I know, right? If only people had told me that. This is Silent Hill 2 during the summer. This is when the cut was looking really good, and this is why you should not ruin puzzles.
Oh, maybe it's like drawing a line. Oh shit, so maybe it's like 1-3-2-8. Oh, maybe it's like drawing a line.
See, if you give me even the smallest hint, that you don't get that reaction. You see what I'm saying? People ruin puzzles.
Yeah, but that just makes him kill himself harder, lol. 𝓕𝓻𝓸𝓱𝓷𝓷𝓪𝓬𝓻 says, was that a joke?
What? So that happened. Plenty of other things happened this year. So we did a playthrough of Space Marine, and yeah, it wasn't 60 frames a second, which hurts my soul. It wasn't. I knew it wasn't, but I read they optimized it. They fucking didn't, bro. It was okay. I started getting to it more at the end. I really like the last level, and it's kind of difficult. And they've got a camo in the game called 𝓕𝓻𝓸𝓵, so that became a little bit of like
𝓕𝓻𝓸𝓻 says, I told you at the time you was taking it too far.
You did. That's like 𝓕𝓻𝓸𝓼𝓼𝓪, right? I just, my habit, I can't stop, verbal tick, I can't stop saying it. Chameleon line. It's so funny. And there's a weapon in that. When you hold it down, it's a railgun, and it goes. I remember just going around. It's pretty good, but not amazing. We did that in 3 sessions, and one of the sessions got a lot. It got like 40,000 views on Rumble. It got on the front page. How many subscribers did it get from that? Probably nothing. Gives you some idea. We dipped our toe into Final Doom, but on the hardest mode, you die and you go back to the start. So I just thought, nah, allow that. Then we started doing Bloodborne. Bloodborne, the concept and the execution of that. Victorian England, whatever the fuck that kind of adjacent aesthetic is in places like Transylvania and shit like that. Gothic.
𝓕𝓸𝓱𝓷𝓷𝓂 says,
werewolves,
mothers in Africa, don't waste their starving English men.
vampires, and astral terror, Cthulhu kind of stuff is second to none. It's second to none. Everything in that game, down to the clothes, the outfits, everything. It looks so goddamn good. The sound effects, the meatiest, most convincing, weighty sound effects in any, in my opinion, FromSoft game that just sell the combat so hard. And it's just a really great combo of astral terror and kind of mythological monsters like vampires and werewolves. It's up there. It's really absorbing. It's too short. Bosses are way too easy. But let's not nitpick too much. Bloodborne's a banger. I can see why people love it. We're still playing it. So we did that. Night Rain. So Elden Ring. Oh my god. Do you know what else they fucking... I was going to say, did they do... They didn't do Elden Ring DLC this year, did they?
Says that'll be in the new Christmas story Disney remake, Brad lol.
They didn't do Elden Ring DLC this year, did they? There's no fucking... That was last year, right? 2024? Surely that was. There was no Consort Radahn this year. So, Night Rain. It's the only proper multiplayer FromSoft experience. It's fucking limited. So once you've done all the bosses and the Everdark harder versions, there's just no reason to go back. And someone as obsessive as FromSoft, you'd think they'd have put more reasons to go back into the game, like more random events. But obviously I don't think they really had that many resources to do it because they're using the current assets. I don't think they allocated most of their resources to that game. They put it to Duskbloods, which is coming exclusively on Switch next year. And apparently some other game, which is going to be their major game. So with that said, yeah, it's limited, but I was into it for a bit, especially the multiplayer element. FromSoft finally giving you unfettered access to multiplayer rather than making it cryptic and a bit of a kind of like a side thing. So had a lot of fun with that. Purp and Yellow, what's that? Geezer? He joined the stream sometimes. So that was nice. The first time we've really done gaming with someone else on the channel. Ryan as well, Struggle Bus, he got involved in a few sessions. So I did enjoy that a lot. And I remain a serious FromSoft fan. So I think that's pretty much all the games that we played. It is. So we did that in 2025. What else happened? So at the turn of the year, 𝓕𝓻𝓸𝓶, he fucking won the election. One of the greatest days of my life. I didn't think we'd do it. I was actually watching Charlie Kirk's channel. Moving on to what happened politically this year. So I wasn't really into Charlie Kirk ever that much, but his channel was the best on election night, and he had the resources to provide the best real-time information. We looked at a bit of Benny Johnson, but he's a little bit clickbaity and a bit sensationalist compared to Charlie Kirk. He absolutely nailed it. He called it, I think, the earliest, and that was just one of the greatest days. Had a bottle of champers. Edward Johnstone funded it. 𝓕𝓻𝓸𝓱𝓷𝓷𝓂 cigar, best champagne. I love it. It's nowhere near the top champagne, but that was my favorite. Found that out And with a cigar, that's my combo when I'm really going to let loose. We did that a little bit. So Trump fucking won. Greatest thing ever. Don't know if we can stave off the globalist advances, but maybe. And I still think to this day, Trump's doing exactly what we need. Zero net migration. All jobs went to Americans since then. House prices have fallen. Correlation isn't causation, but it doesn't take a fucking genius to work out why. Murder rates have fallen. And the main thing is stopping the flow of migrants, because, and Elon Musk has made this abundantly clear, and he's doing it pretty much daily on X, more and more evidence. And thank God he bought X, or we'd be in the dark over all of this shit, mostly, especially the normies, who are people who vote and can sway these elections. The Democrat policy is to import a permanent voter base. They do it by paying people to vote for them. They fly in, they bus in people from other countries, third world countries, who have value systems completely different to our own, who categorically commit disproportionate amounts of crime by vast orders of magnitude. They feed them, they clothe them. Somalians in the news all the time. We could go there, but I think you've seen all the news already. You know what's going on. 85% plus on welfare. Compared to Native Americans, it's way less than that. So they give them all these things. Who are they going to vote for? The party that's going to kick them out, or the party that's going to give them free money with the taxpayer, from the taxpayer, half of which or more don't even want it? That's the Democrat policy. In the place, for example, you saw Mamdani win this year. If you look at the people who voted for Mamdani, the reason he won is because most of the people who voted for him are people who arrived in New York less than 5 years ago, people who don't understand the fabric of the city, basically immigrants. What's happening in New York with Mamdani is what will happen in every single state in America. That's what the Democrats' plan is. You're seeing things now like there's online voting where you basically don't need an ID to do it, and the margins that the Democrats are winning by completely align with the amount of online voting that was done during that period. I mean, go figure, loads of illegals. All of the states that Trump didn't win, there was no voter ID. So the only way to stop this is to stop illegal people coming in. Trump has done that. That is the one way the West will be destabilized and destroyed, is letting mad amounts of people in from other cultures who vote for socialists every time. That's all they're doing. They want to create a socialist system, and they pay people to do it. And it's not necessarily an accident that this destroys society, because even in the Lion King, they said the way to rule over people is to have people divided and fighting, and it's basically destroyed it, because then you need, who's going to take care of it? In the chaos, you need a centralized government who's going to fix that shit and going to take your taxes to solve it. If there was no conflict, if there was no racism, if there's no xenophobia, if there's none of this kind of stuff, what purpose would the Democrats serve? So bringing in people, a new voter base, destabilizes everything, and then you need someone to rule over the division and destabilization. That is the Democrat plan. Trump is doing everything he could to stop it, and the Overton window is shifting somewhat, and Trump with Elon Musk is normalizing normality, which is being able to criticize other countries and people who you feel don't fit into the nation without being cancelled. The genius trick from the Democrats is essentially it's just importing a new voter base. If you criticize their crimes, you will be cancelled because they'll call you a racist. So essentially they're making themselves beyond reproach, no accountability, and you'll be destroyed for even criticizing them. It's a fucking genius and disgusting plan. And I think, Trump getting into power, I don't know if it's ultimately going to fix things, but there's no one else on earth who could be doing what he's doing and get into that position. We're in fucking dark times. People who oppose this disappear. You had the one woman in the, I think, Minnesota Senate, or whatever their kind of municipal body is over there that tries to pass laws and run the state. The one Democrat who voted against providing healthcare to illegals. When she did it, she was tearful and it looked very suspicious. She looked paranoid. She was crying. She was killed a week later. She was shot or killed or something. You had Charlie Kirk being taken out for going on the offensive, and they were that close, this close. I think of all the fallout for Charlie Kirk and how that makes you feel, and how that's changed the political landscape and what the libertarians have lost from that. Now extrapolate that to Donald Trump, the guy that Charlie Kirk just basically was in orbit of, the locus of everything pretty much Charlie Kirk believes in, and essentially what he was trying to achieve in the run up to that election. They were that close from offing him. And James O'Keefe, formerly of Veritas, now with 𝓕𝓻𝓸𝓱𝓷𝓷𝓂, terrible name, News, said that that's why there's no people that go on the offensive, because when you go on the offensive against the leftists, and I've been saying this again and again and again, they are violent, dangerous cults. You end up getting disappeared or killed. They raided Veritas's office when they started revealing stuff about 𝓕𝓻𝓸𝓼𝓼𝓪𝓬𝓻𝓮, OJ 𝓕𝓻𝓸𝓱𝓷𝓷𝓂 and Child Grey and her Irie Day. When he published that, which was real, they investigated him, and he never really recovered from that, right? They tried to investigate Trump, bankrupt him, all of that kind of stuff. It's just amazing that he got into power in spite of that, and it's just the one thing that we needed against all the odds, and it just makes you believe in a God that he somehow managed to get through that without being jailed, or made. So just amazing they got into power. I've been enjoying the shit out of that, the shit out of Donald Trump. It's different this time. The first time around, I think people were less black-pilled. You had people like Mark Dyson, it's ha laughing every day about how the liberals are triggered by Trump. But now it just feels really dark. It feels like you're trying to stave off this almost insurmountable wave of propaganda that's just spewed out by a captured industry, by captured mainstream media, by the captured infrastructure, social media, NGOs, the system, the blob, the progressives. It feels like we're in a war. It feels like we're in World War III. But it's just amazing that it got in. So that happened this year. It's just fucking awesome. Basically, what can I say? It's the greatest gift, and it's really, really what I wanted to see. We also relaunched the channel this year. It's been demonetized for like 4 or 5 years. Now you're seeing more and more stuff come out about fraud with Georgia's election, how 300,000 votes plus went through and they were never verified, all these kind of things. This channel was shadow banned for talking about that, and so it is what it is. It's been a mad journey, but we remonetized, had to delete a lot of videos. When the channel remonetized, we could see all the offending videos that were demonetized, which contribute to a mass ban, and you can't get your channel remonetized. Like literally all of the videos I did for months and months, it just says demonetized, demonetized. We were just brazenly talking about shit we can't talk about, and if you talk about it, the video won't get shared. I don't know if the channel will ever recover, even if it's not shadow ban or whatever kind of euphemism, Orwellian euphemism they use to justify that kind of behavior. And you know they do, because other channels do it, and it's proved by the drop of the Twitter files. I don't know if this channel could ever get like properly shared again, because the content is just, it's not shared by YouTube. If you look at anything about Trump, it's left-wing sources that ping up the top when it should be other people like Ben Shapiro and stuff like that at the top. Regardless, we remonetized, so that was nice. That was one of my goals, and just to not be in the dark about what's happening with the channel. So that meant quite a lot to me. Plenty of other things happened. We did a Fantastic Four review. Movies were terrible this year. We did a Superman review. That was terrible. I think I saw The Flash, and I kind of liked it just because of Michael Keaton's Batman in that. Jordan B. Peterson went off the rails. This was the year when I just stopped watching Jordan Peterson videos, because he just doesn't let his interviewees speak, and he just seems very muddled and all over the place. And ironically, when he talks about objective truth, and basically he's religious, right? He believes there's this objective kind of goodness and moral framework that we all have, and there's this greater thing. I feel that he's weirdly, almost hypocritically progressive. When he gets challenged, he says, what do you mean by this, and what do you mean by that, and what does meaning mean? And let's go on to this fucking intense quasi-intellectual kind of babble about meaning, and what it's like, bro, it's too much. So that was kind of sad for me, but I don't know. And Ghost of Yotei launched. It was trash, apparently. And that's pretty much it. So it's been 2025 has been the year of the Trumpster, when he started to get it going, fixed the mess that the Dems made. And it's been quite a lot of gaming, a lot of Souls-likes, and a few retro games, and a newly discovered love of puzzles. And really, I just want to finish by saying it's been a lot of you. There's plenty of people who stream and barely get any feedback at all, but this year was just, it was all over the place as usual, and just financially, one really difficult part. I thought I might have to leave Japan, and I had no social. I had like two social contacts the whole year, just going out and socializing, and one date. One date, and just didn't have the money to do anything else. So I was stuck in this little shoebox in Japan, and you kept me sane. And of course, I'm going to gravitate towards an outlet of some kind of social contact, because that's where I get not most of my energy, but that's where I get the best energy from, is from other people. So I just want to say thank you for being you and keeping me sane and keeping me alive in 2025. I really appreciate it. Happy New Year.
𝓕𝓸𝓱𝓷𝓷𑔂 says, I saw yesterday they've connected Somalians to fraud in Washington state as well now. 𝓕𝓸𝓱𝓷𝓵 says you better stop or 𝓕𝓪𝓼𝓼𝓪𝓬𝓻𝓮 gonna get the police onto you. 𝓕𝓸𝓱𝓷𝓵 says, James O'Keefe showed how powerful and dangerous a woman could be. They rule the world and don't even know it.
So there you go. Yeah, I've got so much about the Somalian fraud, which is just I knew this would happen. When it happened, the next ploy by the Democrats is going to be, oh, it's racism and like targeting for racism. But everyone knows, like, you can see the data. It's not in dispute. It's just a massive disproportionate amount of fraud. The maddest stat came out when Tim Walz, who's actually the most dangerous evil puppet there is. You just wonder who his controllers are. He's just purely ideological puppet, an absolute weird dude. He came out and said, well, lots of white people do it too. Okay, that's whataboutism. Okay, loads of white people do it too. Let's focus on the real issue, which is the most amount of fraud, which is committed by Somalians. But, like, so, okay, other people commit, let's stop all the fraud, but let's stop where's all the white people doing the daycare fraud? Someone actually researched how much fraud was committed, whites versus Somalians in Minnesota. Not only do Somalians commit the most fraud per capita, so that would be the argument, it's like there's more fraud with white people, but it's because there's more white people. But actually the rate of fraud committed by this sect is like by orders of magnitude more. It's not actually that, which is a fucking, is like an argument, is the argument to stop the fraud in and of itself. But even though Somalians represent a way smaller sector of the population, they commit more crimes than all of the white people in terms of fraud by orders of magnitude again. So the fraud is a fucking staggering amount of fraud, and it's every time you see the Somali communities who 85% plus are on welfare, it's riddled with this stuff. Dude, the amount of fraud they committed was pretty much the same as the entire GDP of Somalia. And there's people out there who can't afford to fucking send their kids to daycare and do any of this shit. And then, like, there's a bunch of people who come in that you're paying for to do that at your expense. It's just called socialism. It's taking the stuff from productive people, giving it to unproductive people. That's all it is. And it's mad. Like, we're in a socialist system now, especially in the UK. And the sleight of hand is no one even calling it what it is. It's socialism. From each according to his abilities, to each according to their need. They need it more than you because they're going to give votes to the people that allow this to happen. So let's redistribute the wealth to them. Again, it will destroy everything. When it collapses, who do you need to rule over society? Well, your progressive overlords. So absolutely fucking crazy stats. And the thing is, right, like, even if, let's even entertain the idea, and this isn't even true, that, okay, there's Somalians who need the help and need the daycare. Where the fuck is the daycare center for just like Native Americans? Where the fuck is that? Like, they have to pay through the nose. Where the fuck is all their daycare center? Where the fuck are all of their daycare centers where they basically don't have to pay for daycare? Why is it only Somalians? Because they're going to vote for the Democrats. It's out in the open now, and believe me, I've been making a fucking dossier of all the reasons why you have to vote Republican in the midterms and what's going to happen if you don't. And this is just one small part of it. The main thing is if you don't vote for Republicans, they're going to import foreigners from countries with disproportionate amount of crimes being committed, the worst kind of crimes, and they're going to bring them in and pay them to vote for them. So they're going to become a supermajority, and you never can vote your way out of it. Inside a socialist system where you're paying for voters to destroy you and destroy your quality of life irreversibly. Because get this, anyone can destroy anything, and not anyone can build something. To build this amazing society that America is, it took fucking like hundreds of years of graft and ingenuity. And only a few top tier fucking geniuses for want of a better expression, can do that. A child can come along and kick down a sandcastle. A 5-year-old could come along and set fire to a building and burn the whole thing down. And once you do, especially when those people who commit those crimes are in power, it's never coming back. And that's why the countries that had socialism are still fucked. Like Russia will always be fucked. It will always be fucked because that's part of the fabric of their society. Don't let it happen, America, because once it becomes like that, there is no way back. And there will be no part 2, because in the modern era, especially with nuclear weapons, there'll be no more kind of vying for the top spot. There'll be no more of it. You just have to accept your fucking lot and accept who your new ruler is. So don't let it happen in the midterms, America. Don't let it happen.
𝓕𝓻𝓸𝓶 says, I mean, when we were desegregating schools, he opposed it, saying he didn't want his kids going to school in a racial jungle, so there's that. 𝓕𝓸𝓱𝓷𝓵 says, oh, 𝓕𝓸𝓱𝓷𝓵 says, that Johnny arrested betting pool is back on the menu.
Is it? So, of course, I have a lot of thoughts. I see it every day and I'm bookmarking the shit out of it, and it's batshit crazy bonkers. But, yeah, you know, I haven't talked about it because I've been actually really recharging. I feel like, oh man, I need this so badly. Been recharging, just enjoying England, enjoying my family the most of all, who I love very much, and friends, and gaming as well, because it's just, I want to create things. I don't just want to live off what other people are doing and react. I want to create, and I can weave this into it. And and when the time's right, I will give my opinion on it. I'm not sure, I don't know how much of a focal point that's going to be, but yeah, you know, when the time is right, I'll talk about it. But we'll get more into politics next year, maybe, depending on the vibe. But yeah, you know where I stand. And this shit's important.
𝓕𝓻𝓸𝓱𝓷𝓵 says, batshit bonkers, have you been listening to Katie Hopkins?
Is that what she says? So I'm British, innit? That's why. So there we go, everyone. What are you doing for New Year's Eve? What are you doing? Ooh, got a bit of adrenaline, a little bit now, because New Year's is going to be... Ooh, I cannot wait, though. It's going to be so good. And which cigar should I be smoking on New Year? My absolute favourite, the White Churchill, or the same brand, the Churchill. This is literally as I said before in the stream, this is the cigar that Churchill smoked. The same length and like the same kind of, I don't know if it's the same tobacco, but it's as close as what they could get to the cigar that Churchill smoked. It is this one. It's by this company and from the same place and all that kind of shit. And this is the modern version, not from the original vintage, but it's as close as it could ever be. If this is my favorite, and judging by the smell, this actually is a similar smell, so it might be really similar. But the Churchill, because it's thinner and longer, it's a little lighter, maybe a bit more. I don't know if cerebral is not the word, but a bit more of a kind of measured smoke. Or am I going just for the straight up favorite on New Year's Day? I'm not smoking both. What am I doing? And there's a rave on the 1st as well, 24 hour. I'm not sure that's a good idea this year.
𝓕𝓻𝓸𝓱𝓷𝓵 just says, yeah, she always starts out with batshit bonkers Britain in her shorts, lol, I like her, she went on Rosanna a while back, she's had a hard road.
They tried to destroy him, man, for free speech. We need to get back where it's okay. But then anyone's a Nazi who says something that I disagree with. But, okay, she says that too. Interesting. I wonder how old she is. Maybe a similar age. So, yeah. Ooh, excited. Very excited. I'm mad excited, cuzzy. So what would you like to see more of on this channel in the new year? Tell me, and I'll do it if I like the sound of it. I'll do it. We're finishing Blood Bowl when I get back, and then it's basically Armored Core. It's going to be Armored Core, 100%. And there's going to be some retro games. We're going to dovetail. We're going to we're going to also play retro games at the same time. Can't leave that, because I feel that's when new people come to the channel. It's that low competition niche that certain people are searching for. You know what I mean? You know what I mean. So yeah, I'll be out of here in a minute, but just wait a little bit longer.
𝓕𝓻𝓸𝓸𝓶 says finally, big robot game.
It's coming. Any other games as well you want me to play in the new year?
Says, Katie Hopkins will be 51 years old in February. She was born in 75.
Oh, that's way before me.
𝓕𝓻𝓸𝓱𝓷𝓷𝓂 says, what are you doing tonight for New Year's Eve?
I'm going to Fold, the club Fold in London. That's what I'm doing. My favourite club in the world. Is what I'm doing. Cannot wait. Cannot wait. Yeah, man. I've been dreaming about this for a long time.
𝓕𝓻𝓸𝓱𝓷𝓵 says, yeah, I thought she'd be Gen X. I like Gen Z as my siblings are that I missed it by 1 year, I think.
My passport has Fold sticker on. That's from last year, or maybe even 2 years ago, like 2 years running. That's how much I like Fold. I got my locker as well for Fold, digital locker. I'm ready to fucking run. I got the sticker, I got everything. Woo! It's gonna be so good. Cannot wait. Gonna be the best. Well, let me know in the comments, yeah, what kind of stuff you want to see in the new year, and I'll read them, and we'll take it from there. But yeah, just thank you so much, everyone. It just sounds so cheesy saying everyone.
𝓕𝓻𝓸𝓸𝓚 says, we might be sleeping. I might stream after 12 IDK. We don't do New Year's, lol.
Have a good one, Milky. Yeah, but thank you so much. I really appreciate you. Happy New Year, everyone. See you on the flip.